Alright guys, what's going on? We are doing a video review of the Reate M Horizon Mini D in M390 with these beautiful anodized bronze with a carbon fiber inlay. It's a gorgeous knife, guys. This is the box it comes in though. It's kind of funny, just generic. Mini Horizon D bronze, carbon fiber satin, but it came in this, which is nice. I don't even know why they bother with the box. Because it comes in a nice big, just gonna back that out a little bit. Really big, actually, pouch. With a nice sleeve right here to put your knife in, and it comes with cloth and a patch, which is sweet, and a drawstring brag, so you get all kinds of good stuff. So you get a lot for your money here. We'll get into that conversation here in a minute, because this is not a cheap knife by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so I haven't owned a Reate knife for a long time, and the main reason behind that is no particular reason, actually. Just a lot of their designs didn't necessarily speak to me. I have owned quite a few knives made by Reate for like Leon Ma, and I've handled quite a bit of the Todd Begg Glimpse and those types of knives. And the manufacturing is top notch. There's no doubt in my mind about that. The price has always kind of turned me off a little bit because you're paying a lot of money for a Chinese manufactured knife, which is, I don't have any problem with that. You guys know that on my channel. But it does come into the equation of value. Like if you look at some of the Wii knives, they're made just as well as Reate in my opinion, and they tend to be less expensive. So, but I got to tell you, I went into Blade HQ and I handled the Mini Glimpse and the 3/4 Quake In, and I've handled the Mini Horizon, all made by Reate. And I've always been super impressed with the quality, but I didn't love the design. I mean, I love the design, but one thing that they didn't do right, I think, on the Beggs, on the mini versions of their knives, is they made them too small. Glimpse, too small. The Mini, Bodega is too small. The 3/4 Quaken wasn't too small, but it just had a weird handle. This knife, however, is a shrunk down version of the Reate Horizon D, in-house design, I believe. And this one is done perfect. I mean, literally the perfect size. It is so nice in the hand. Such a good size. I mean, it just fits my hand like a glove. It's one of the most ergonomic knives I've handled. It's good size. It's not too small. It's thicker in the handle, not too thick, but it's a little thicker. But that gives it a little bit more sustenance, or substance when it's in your sustenance. That's not the right word. Substance, and when it's in your hand. Let's go ahead and do that measurement. You're looking at, I mean, it's under ½ an inch actually, so that's surprising. It feels thicker than that, so that's actually good. It's a little thinner than I thought it was in the handle. So it is made of, like I said, with M390 blade steel on, I believe, I have to open the knife up, but I'm 99% sure they're ceramic bearings just based on how smooth it is. And I think they use a ceramic detent as well. That's hard to tell. They do has a lock bar insert, maybe a stainless steel detent. I'll have to take it apart and check it out, but just so smooth, buttery smooth, perfect detent, just a great flipper. M390 blade steel, love this blade shape, very useful blade shape. The one thing I was a titch disappointed in was how thin or how thick it was behind the edge. It's a little thick. It's actually not that bad. It's 0.0. Just trying to get that right behind the edge. I mean, it's under 0.03 inches, so it's not terrible at all, actually. I think I measured it before and it was thicker, so maybe I just need to remeasure it. So it's pretty thinly ground. It's not the thinnest ground. It's not the thinnest ground knife out there, but it cuts well, and you'll see when I do some cut tests here in a minute. When I roll in that footage, we sliced an apple with it. We did some cardboard and such, and it cuts well. I would say it doesn't surprisingly cut as well as the ZT 393. Another recent acquisition. I did a video on this one, but I'm going to do a full review on this one as well. And surprisingly, this is a little thicker behind the edge, and it actually kind of sliced it better. It was really surprising to me. So, but overall, just a super high quality knife. You do have a nice little bit of jimping here. It is kind of thick on the blade stock, but it has this taper right here with this swedge on the top, which is nice. Titanium pocket clip. It is a little stiff. That is one I would say negative of the knife. It's a stiff clip. It works really well. It has good retention.
Definitely not deep carry. You're having quite a bit of knife handle, you know, coming out of your pocket right there. So something to consider there. But you can see how it kind of holds onto that pocket. That's pretty thin denim too. So that's one thing I would like to see is a little bit. It's a very rigid clip, but it has enough gap right here that it doesn't end up being a big deal. You have a, like I said, stainless steel lock bar insert and a nice titanium back spacer. I believe the hardware is also titanium. What I love about this finish is it's not going to capture it, but it gets a lot of purples and blues in the finish too when the light hits it just right, and I'm just not capturing that. So it's a really unique bronze. You see a lot of purple when the certain like sunlight or certain lighting hits it. The carbon fiber inlay is done extremely well. It's very flush. In fact, it's even inset. I would say it's not even flush. It's inset into the handle a little bit, which is nice. You can see that detail, I think, right there. You can kind of tell how that's inset. Carbon fiber is beautifully done. So, price-wise on this, you're looking at $350. It is not an inexpensive knife, but you are getting extremely high quality, extremely smooth action. Nice, you know, blade steel M390. The grinds are beautifully done. Just fantastic ergonomics. So, it's a high-end Chinese knife, and that's what Reate's known for. They're known for those. I was gonna look at, like I said, I was looking at those Glimpse and the Mini Glimpse and all those models. I was also looking at a Wii knife, the Zephyr. That was actually one of the reasons I was gonna buy the Zephyr. And then I handled this knife, and it was a little bit more money. You're talking $50. And they are very similar. They have the same blade steel. They have carbon fiber inlays. They're very well manufactured knives. So, you know, Wii is getting their price up there almost to Reate. And when Reate first came on the market, when I had the Horizon back in the day and the Hills, they were like really inexpensive knives. So they've definitely raised their prices, but you know, the quality is definitely there. The thing that kind of kills me is ZT is able to compete. I mean, these materials on this knife aren't as nice as this, but you're talking $110 difference made in the USA. Just throwing it out there. It's crazy what they can do. But this video is about the Mini Horizon D, and I'm telling you, this is one of the nicest knives I have in my collection. It's so buttery smooth. It is just fantastic. Let's go ahead and roll in some cutting footage of this, and we'll wrap up the video. Here, the Reate Mini Horizon D, also pretty thick behind the edge. Let's see how it does. These are pretty thin slices, I'd say. But it definitely, being sharp, doesn't glide through as well as the ZT393 did, which is kind of surprising. It's pretty thinly cut though. Does the job. So maybe knives don't have to be really thin behind the edge to slice well. So you can see it actually sliced through the apple pretty well. It also did well through the cardboard. Like I said, I was really super surprised. I tested a few knives at the same time, the Mini Scandi and the when I did this cut test, and the ZT, And I was pretty surprised. I felt like the ZT, and I'm not being biased or anything by any imagination, guys. I felt like this cut actually a little bit better, sliced a little bit better to the apple. The cardboard, it just, for some reason, I don't know what it is. So, and it's actually a little thicker behind the edge. It's kind of surprising, right? This one is very, very thin, and it, exceeded in lots of things. But the Horizon D did just fine. It's a good cutter. It's a good EDC knife. It's weight on this guy. And then we'll do some size comparisons and wrap up the video. You're just right about 5 ounces. Oh, helps to have that on screen. Right, 5.1 ounces, so it's a little heavier. I was a little surprised at the weight of the knife for its size. There's no milled pockets on the inside. Well, actually, there's one milled pocket, like up here, on this scale. But none, surprisingly, on this, but that's most likely due to the inlay, so that's probably why. But their standard, like, milled ones don't have the pocket either, so. This is available, like I said, in a inlay like this, with an inlay with Damasteel, and then a milled handle in bronze, blue, just regular gray titanium, and a black PVD, which is really hot. I almost bought that one. It has, like, bronze hardware, so. Let's do some size comparisons for you. Might as well do the ZT since we had it out earlier. Kind of already did one. The Mini Horizon is a little bit smaller as far as that's concerned. The Topps Mini Scandy folder is a little bit smaller, so kind of give you an in-between there. More common knife that everyone should be familiar with is the Benchmade 940, which it's pretty much identical in size to that knife. And let's do the Mini Crooked River, which is also nearly identical in size. So, good size knife, one of my favorite sizes. I think this is perfect for EDC. The value on this knife, I think, is there, even though it is expensive. You are getting a very, very finely crafted, great machining, great fit and finish, super smooth action. So, I think you can't go wrong with the Hills, guys. It is a little expensive, or excuse me, not the Hills, that's the old model. The Mini Horizon D. I think it's, like I said, first Reate knife I've handled in a long time, and I had to have it as soon as I handled it. So, thanks for watching this video, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.